Adam Talks, how we breaking it down. Got athletes in the mix, we running this town. From actors to creators, all sharing their grind. Mental health minute, gotta free up the mind. Struggles we face, we ain't hiding no tears. Family around, facing all those fears. Each episode's 5, keeping it real. Listen close, it's the vibe that we feel. This is the Adam Talks, where we vibe and we heal.
And welcome back to another great episode. This is actually the first episode kicking off the new season, the 4th season of the Adam Talks podcast with number 2 himself. Well, last season at least. Number 2 himself from the Hot Springs Wise Guys. Well, that's what they were known as. Now they're the Arkansas Diamonds, and I haven't heard any news about that. But what we're going to do is talk to the man himself, Jordan Ambrose. How are you doing, man?
I'm good. I'm good. How about yourself?
Dude, I am fantastic. I've been wanting to, I think we tried to do this last year, right before the championship game, Arena Mania 2.
Yeah.
Whenever the Wise Guys made it in their first season to the championship game, man. Tell me about that experience. What was that like?
That was surreal, honestly. That was my first ever championship in my career, and being able to
Wow.
make it in the as a rookie in my arena season, and then also our first year as a team, it was actually crazy. It was actually amazing. It was good to see. It was good for the fans to see as well. A lot of people didn't know about arena football, and just able to do that in our first year was great.
Yeah, man. I like this was the first year that Arkansas has had an arena team since I think the Twisters, or they may have changed their name or something a little while after that, but they became like the Texas Revolution. I don't remember if it was in the IFL or if it was in a different league, but we had a team years ago. But this is the first time we've had a professional football team in the state last year, and you made it all the way to the championship game. Uh, it was absolutely crazy uh, seeing the season. Me and my wife got to watch the last 2 games of the season. Those are the only 2 games we were able to make, both against the Woo. And dude, those were freaking crazy games, dude. Those were awesome games to
Yeah.
watch. I seen the first one we went to. It was a nail biter all the way up until the end. How do you react in those kinds of situations? Like, is it a difficult thing to keep your composure, or is it something more natural?
It's definitely, I would say it can be difficult at times, especially since I was a rookie. And like you said, it was a nail biter. And it was like, I believe at the last game before the championship, we played the Goats. And if we didn't win that game, then we weren't going to the semifinals. And so keeping all that in mind, but also because being the leader of the team, the quarterback, it can be hard at times to keep your composure, but you can't make excuses. You just have to go out there and do what you've been doing for as many years as I've been doing now, and just treat every play like the same and go through everything like I usually do. And God bless, we came out on top on that one.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, you just said doing it as long as you've been doing it. Let's go back, way back. Where did your journey in football actually start, man?
Man, I started playing football since I was like 4 or 5 years old, I believe. And I'm just gonna go as far as back as we'll go to Little League. I've been playing Pee Wee ball with just bouncing around different teams. I played Tom Ball, Red Cats, or something like that. I played for the Cy-Fair Saints. Going on elementary school, I played elementary school. No, I was still playing Pee Wee then. Middle school, I played at Oric. High school, Klein High School, and then this is all in Texas. And then I got my offer to play football at a D3 school in Ohio called Defiance College. Played all 5 years there. That was with COVID and everything, and was blessed to be invited out to an All-Star game out in New York won MVP there and got more looks, and then that's when things really start taking off, and that's where I got my first professional offer to play overseas in Poland. Played with the Spezia
Wow.
Rebels for half a year. Then played in Brazil with the Machila Duvals the second half of 2024. And then while I was out in Brazil, I received an offer to play in my first ever arena team in Arizona for 2025. And then sadly, I was cut. But a day later, I signed with Arkansas. But that was for the summer league. So in between about March / April to May, I got picked up by another team in Oregon. Played with them for about 3 to 4 games until it's time to go down to Arkansas, where I finished my 2025 season.
Wow, man. All over the freaking place, dude. So, all right. So
Yeah.
in high school, what was the things that you really remember standing out that really kind of started to shape you into the player you would ultimately become? And by no means am I saying you're you even close to being finished because you're still a young dude, man. You know, you got a way long ways to go. So, what is some of the stuff that shaped you into who you are, at least currently, that you learned from your high school days?
In high school, I would say just keep going, no matter what anyone says. Because in high school, I wasn't the guy I was now. I was more of a bench player, if we're gonna be honest. I didn't see much of the
Wow.
field, and yeah, I didn't see much of the field, and that's like I would say again, keep going. Don't really worry what people say, and just because you know what you want in your life. So if you really believe you can go out there and do it, then do what you want to do, and don't listen to what everyone else has to say.
So you didn't see much playing time? I mean, that's crazy. Were you the same style, at least, of player whenever you were able to get on the field as you are now? Or were you more of a pocket passer? Or
Um, in high school, I was still pretty mobile, but I wouldn't say I was as developed or as mobile as I am now. I would say I was definitely like bigger as in the aspect of like out of shape. I wasn't the potential I am now, like I said.
definitely, man. I mean, you grow a lot as you get older, you develop a lot more. Going into,
Yes,
what
sir.
was it? You said your senior year you got an offer to go to Defiance, the D3 school?
Yes, sir. Yep. Defiance College up in Defiance, Ohio.
What happened in your senior year in order for you to get that offer?
Things actually played out pretty crazy. Again, senior year of high school, I didn't get much playing time. But the time I did get in, I tried to make the most of it, and I was able to make a couple plays while I went in, and I sent those little plays out to the teams and coaches on Twitter, and honestly, just chucking up a prayer because again, I didn't have like long, lengthy film like everyone else. I just had a couple clips here and there, so I was just chunking up prayers up to prayers up to coaches and teams, and coach reached out to me on Twitter, Coach Jeremy Taylor at the time. He reached out to me and talked with him on FaceTime or Zoom or whatever we FaceTimed on, and we just talked about everything and went up for a visit, and I enjoyed everything about it, and that's where I ended up settling.
What was your college experience like? I mean, from your freshman year all the way until you left, what was that experience like? And what was some lessons you learned within your first little bit of getting to college?
College was definitely a little bit different for me because that's when the second semester of my freshman year, that's when COVID started hitting hard. So it was a big, like straight up flip on life. My biggest thing from freshman year was probably like stay on top of things early. I definitely my freshman year took college for granted. Um, I was just, I was more on the aspect of just enjoy the college life and being a procrastinator. I wasn't really on top of my schoolwork like I should have, and you let one thing pile on top of another, and then it just snowballs, and you're playing a game of catch up. So that was the biggest thing. That was my biggest takeaway from freshman year. I was like, just stay on top of my stuff, and if I really want to make a career, I need to make sure I need to get the schoolwork done because studies and everything come first, and the athlete second, student athlete. Um, Another thing, well, with COVID, just the biggest. That's another thing. Biggest thing was just transitioning and like doing things on the fly because when COVID hit, like I said, my life got flipped around. We had to wear masks, had to get tested every week. So just going through diversity was another thing for me through my early college years.
Okay. So what was that? So you went to college, your college year was in 2020, your first year of college. Is that what you're saying?
2019. Yeah,
Okay.
2019 was when I went to college, and then COVID hit that January, February of 2020.
hmm Okay. What was it? Was it different, like as far as playing the game during COVID? Because I couldn't imagine, like you said, you had to wear masks. There was like this whole thing where you had to be like try to stay 6 feet apart or this or that, you know. Was it a lot of a, was it a weird feeling being out there where there wasn't many people possibly in the crowd or whatever?
It was definitely weird. Like I for football, we had to get tested like 2 times a week, and at my college, if someone on your floor tested positive, the rules changed as time went on, but if someone on your floor tested positive, then the whole floor was on quarantine. So that meant
Wow.
let's yeah, it was crazy. So that means like you could have the starting linebacker, starting safety, and like maybe like three other players on the same floor, and then they're all quarantined, and they got to sit out for the week or sit out of practice for that week or be quarantined for that time being. And it was like I said, it was crazy going through diversity because I believe one week um, one of our QBs went down, and that pushed me up to second, and it was just crazy overall. Our starting linebacker went down too. One of our starting, actually two of our starting linebackers went down, and so everybody was just trying to jump in and learn at the fly. Like it was so crazy. It was a crazy time for sure. It was like I said, going through diversity. That was a big thing. Just okay, this happened, so next man up, or this happened, so what are you going to do with the opportunity you just been given?
Man. So is it all right? So my brother didn't make it to college football level, but I know there's like a fighting chain as far as whenever you're working trying to get higher up on the depth chart. Did that increasingly get tougher whenever you made it to college than it was in high school? Because I know obviously there's a step up from high school to college in talent because colleges are recruiting from all around wherever, all around the country or wherever, man. Is it a major step up from in talent from when you went to high school to college?
Most definitely, because like you said, everybody's recruited from different states. I believe my freshman year of college, we had it was like 8 QBs in the QB room, and it
Wow.
was yeah, it was crazy. It was like five, 6 freshmen, and then we had some seniors and some transfers. So yeah, it was definitely a big step up, and you just couldn't like biggest thing you just couldn't be discouraged or really doubt yourself. You got like always bet on yourself, always put your best foot forward, and like again bet on yourself and just do what you know you can do.
Wow, man, that's a lot of freaking quarterbacks, man. That's a lot of
Yeah.
people, dude. You gotta scratch and claw your way up to the top. Like, get out of my way. I'm gonna get this position. They were like, no, you're not. Was there people that like got discouraged and was like, never mind, this ain't for me, and just kind of left?
Oh yeah. No. I believe after our first semester of football, I believe we had maybe 3 or 4 returners going into the next year, and then some just dropped out completely. So the QB room definitely shaped different, and it was just crazy to see. Like as the year went on, people would like drop out or just quit football and just become a regular student. So yeah, no, it definitely happens a lot actually.
All right, let's get back to your career in college. When did you get the opportunity to actually start in college, and what was that feeling like with your first actual start on the field? knowing you are in control, you're in charge of this offense while you're out there?
My first official start, because my first time going in, my first time going in for real was mid game. I was second string, like my sophomore junior year, and our QB he did like my boy Cole Record, he did like a QB run and broke his collarbone, and
Ugh.
then I went in. Yeah, I went in directly after, and I how did I do? I did pretty all right. I didn't do the best, but for like my one of the first kind of starts, it was all right. And then after that week, that's when they announced me starter, and it was a big adjustment because again, I was like sophomore junior year starting, and I didn't see much playing time in high school, so it was like, oh man, I'm getting pushed through the whole gauntlet again, and it was just like finding my confidence and trying to find my way to the original, like, oh yeah, Jordan, this is you, you can do this. And I would say my senior year is where things really just took off.
What made you like? What was the? I'm losing my words for a second. What was the thing that really solidified in your mind that you've got this? Like once they put the faith in you and that pressure on you, was the pressure something that built you up, or was it something that kind of was like, whoa, hold on, like, because obviously you've reacted well to it since you've actually got starting positions everywhere that you've gotten, you know? But what's the thing that really stuck out and was like, all right, now I know this is my team and I'm gonna lead it?
I would say the biggest factor is knowing your boys really backing you. Like they have confidence in you. Once the team and really the team, I was gonna say the team and fans, but really once your team is behind you, then that's when you really start building your confidence. Because like if other people believe in me, then I have no choice but to believe in myself. Because it doesn't make sense for me not to believe in myself, but everyone else believes in me. So just feeding off their confidence, knowing they got my back, I got theirs, is it's great. I would say
Was
that's one of the biggest things.
definitely was that pressure that you felt something that pushed you even further to know that you got to do this good? Like, because I know sometimes pressure is something that'll make people kind of crumble, but as I said a second ago, that doesn't seem to be the factor with you, man. Pressure seems to, no pun intended, create diamonds. But
Right.
did the pressure that from that starting position affect you in a big way?
I would definitely say the pressure definitely did mold me into the person I am because um, getting that pressure really tossed at me. It's just really, it's like throwing you in the flame. Like, how are you going to react? Are you going to barbecue or are you going to mildew? What are you going to do in this moment? Are you going to like fold or are you going to do what you have to do? And I would say being put in the situations where pressure is high, it definitely does mold. It definitely does mold you, and I would say it definitely did mold me and makes me perform the way I do.
Do you think? All right, this is a side question. Does all colleges get like a pro day sort of thing where scouts will come and check you out once you're at a certain point, or every year you get the chance to potentially move forward into a professional career? Is all colleges the same, or do you have to submit footage at a D3 or D2 style level school? I mean, or is there pro days as well for those kinds of schools as well?
Yeah. So, me personally, I didn't have my own pro day because after I did my All Star game, I honestly I didn't know what I wanted to do after I did the All Star game. I was kind of like a sitting duck for a little bit, and but then a couple of my boys they went overseas, and like I reached out to them and was just like, yo, and they really put me on. But back to the point, yeah, pro days really depend on you and then also your school, because like you get invited out to a pro day, but also your school can host a pro day for you for like, I believe my school hosted a couple pro days for a couple of our athletes, and it just really depends on the school and then the player.
Okay. All right, let's jump back. Jump back real quick. Overall college experience, you said, was really good. What are some key moments that stuck out to you throughout your entire college run, man?
Some key moments. Football or outside of football?
Either, man. Either.
Mm, some key moments I would say inside of football was always the rivalry we had in football. Our rival was Bluffton, and all 5 years there, it was always gritty. It was just always like everyone just looked forward to that game. Like we could have zero fans going throughout the whole season, but when that game came up, you knew the stands would be packed, and you knew social media was gonna go crazy, finna trash talk. That was definitely a key moment in my college career. Just always that game coming to the end of the year. That was great. Outside of football, I would say just the bonds and everything I made just going throughout the years, just seeing people come and go, like different seasons, seeing who's really there for you, seeing who's really not, and just the support you build with the people that come in your life and leave. It's actually crazy how many people will come in out of your life and how many stay or go, and I would say that's another key moment in my life.
Definitely, man. Definitely. I think that's an awesome thing, being able to build lifelong bonds with people, being able to find friends for life in college experiences and this and that. I went to college for a short time, and as you said, what happened with you wasn't really. It was like right after I got out of high school. I dropped out. I got my GED, and I started going to college, but I didn't take it seriously. I was just there. You know what I mean? So
Mm.
it didn't work out for me as good. So I built bonds from high school that I still have with people today, and those bonds are some of the strongest strongest bonds that I have. So I'm sure college is exactly the same for you. You have those bonds with people even to this day, that you met through college and everything. Um, Before we get into your professional career, I would like to take what I started doing the end of last season. It's called a mental health minute. Mental health is such a huge thing for me. In the past, I've suffered with, or I've suffered through PTSD, anxiety, depression, all kinds of different things. And I know a lot of other people who listen to my show and watch my show dealt with that same sort of stuff. Have you ever had any times throughout, even in past college, throughout your life, throughout your entire life, where you felt super anxious or unsure of yourself? I'm sure everybody has. And if so, man, how did you get through those moments? How did you deal with that sort of feeling or emotion?
I would definitely say support. Knowing you have someone you can fall on, even if it could be anybody, your peers, your teacher, professors. I would definitely say the biggest thing would be support. When you can't carry yourself, find someone that you can lean on, and that will help you carry you the rest of the way. I would say that's one of the biggest things, and also taking a break. That's a big thing for me. I'm always working, always doing something. Sometimes you just like you're so caught up in this that you never really give yourself time to breathe. And I would definitely say giving yourself time, like stepping away or giving yourself time to breathe, is a big thing on like your mental and really taking care of that.
Definitely, man, definitely. It's good to take some time away from whatever it is that's going on in your head, to give yourself a breather, give yourself a second away from it, because ruminating and staying in your head and staying in that same thought process of whatever it is that's bothering you, whatever is going on that's making you feel how you are, taking a step away, taking a moment away from it, can give you that little breath of relief that you might need. And that's always a helpful thing. Um, have you gone through any moments like that? And you don't have to talk about any moments if you don't want to. I never pressure anybody to, but have you had moments where you've had these bad feelings or anything?
I would say Back in college, like with school and everything, I'm definitely have been like in my head or just down on myself, but really just again, you gotta find that support system, find people that are around you that care, and someone you can talk to that will be there for you is one of the biggest things that got me through things.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Um, I think friends are one of the ways, having friends and being able to connect with them is one of the ways that I was able to get through a lot of my stuff. I appreciate you talking a little bit about this stuff and taking this mental health minute with me because uh, I feel like no matter who's listening, no matter who's watching, you could have an impact on what on their life with what you're saying in these very small, minute moments because they may not think about things that way. They may think that doesn't matter who's there, it's all over. You know, the world is just too dark or whatever. But the words that you said could help them be like, you know what, he's right. Maybe I do need to reach out to somebody, or maybe I do need to just take a breather, take a step away. So, man, I appreciate you taking the time to just give that little bit of advice, that little piece of advice to people, because, like I said, you just never know who that's going to affect or when. You know what I mean?
Right.
All right, man. Let's get back into this. How did so you just hitched a ride? You essentially just hooked up with your friends that went out of the country and then jumped on a team out of like an international football team? How does that even work, man?
So my boys Austin and Josh, we actually played against them in college. Um, they got they got recruited to play over in Finland, I believe it was, and
Wow.
that is they hooked me up with like sources and everything, and got me set up to find my own way to go overseas, and I started getting help from teams from I believe it was a couple of Germany teams, Poland, um, I want to say Serbia and a few other teams, and just weighing out everything, and ultimately decided with the Silesia Rebels out in Poland, and that whole experience was great. Just getting my passport and everything, knowing I was going to go across the world was actually surreal, and just living a whole different life in a whole other culture was great, and seeing how they play ball out there, how they live their lives, how they do things. It was good to see.
What is the last? So me and my wife have talked for since we've been together about wanting to go out of the country and just meet different people, see different cultures and stuff. Was it a culture shock moment going over there and being able to see how different things were than they are here?
Oh, most definitely. Just seeing how some things operate, or even food wise, like you go on Amazon and some things that you want in the US you couldn't have over there. Like what was there was something I was trying to order on Amazon. I think it was just like ranch, and like ranch was like banned over there, or at least
What?
the type I was trying to order. Yeah,
That's
I think
wild,
like
man.
I forgot what kind, but I couldn't order ranch over there, and like they have their own ranch or wherever they call it, and I was just like, oh, what the heck? It was a lot of things that we do in the U.S. that you won't see them do over there, and it was crazy to see.
That's wild, man. That's really wild. Couldn't get no daggum ranch. Need it.
Ranch,
Um,
yeah.
did you have to learn the languages wherever you were at, or were they pretty fluent in English as well?
Yeah, no, there's a lot of people fluent in English. Majority of majority of them speak English. I have a funny story. Me and my boy that was out there, Taylor. It was when he first arrived on the scene, and he was using Google Translate for everything. And we walked into this shop, and he immediately pulled out his phone and typed in like, "Can you help me with something?" into Google Translate and showed the guy, and the guy was like, "I speak English, dude." And it was funny. But majority of people actually do speak fluent English, and they pride themselves on speaking English too. That's the cool part.
That's awesome, man. Was it all right? So going into football, was it way different? Like, did they have different formations, different setups, and stuff like that?
Nah, it was everything was pretty much the same as far as like
Okay,
just base things. Um, a lot of things because usually they have American coaches over there too. But
okay,
I know our defensive coach was American, but our offensive coach was Polish, and he got a lot of things from NFL or college teams over here. So a lot of things are pretty much the same.
okay. Was it like what was the league? Was it like an NFL Europe league or was it something else?
This team, this I mean that league was the PFL, Polish Football League.
Okay,
The NFL of the NFL of Europe was called the ELF or yeah ELF, but there's so many changes in names right now. I have no clue what's being done or what's being called over there.
how did the season go whenever you were playing for the Polish team?
It went well. I think after regular season games, we ended second or third overall out of like 6 or 8 teams. And then we went to the semis or quarters, one of those. But we got booted out by like a touchdown or two. But it was still a great experience.
Right on. Anything super memorable happen in your football career while you were over there?
Um, hmm. I would just saying, uh, probably just interacting with my teammates, learn new things with them, or like getting scoring touchdowns with like people that just maybe started the game or first year in football over there. So that was good to see. Just watching the excitement on their face when we win games or we make big plays. It was great.
So, were you have you been able to be a mentor to younger players all over, not just over there, but even whenever you made your way back to the States, have you been able to be a mentor? And if so, what is that like for you? I mean, it must feel really good knowing, hey, I can teach these young bucks a thing or two about a thing or two.
Oh, most definitely. I have people from Poland still, well, Europe in general. People in from Europe still hit me up asking me football things or football tips, and just going from different countries and everything. And even here, like the time I spent in Oregon, I have a couple people that still hit me up on Instagram, like, "Hey, how you doing?" Da, 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 or ask me about football, or a couple tips this here and third, or just even outside of football, just like about life and how I'm just going through life and like any advice I can give them is it's real wholesome for me. I'm not gonna lie.
Definitely, man. Do you have any? Are there? Oh, wait a minute. Are there any players that you were able to help in that way that have really stood out and made a name for themselves, and whether it's an arena league or whether it's in a different league altogether, that you're super proud of them for being able to understand and take in the information that you were able to give them?
Yeah, I've helped a couple of people around my age try to get back into football. Like some stories are like they may have stopped football for a year or took a little year or two break and are trying to get back into it, and they asked me like what path I took, or it's people that's just they finish football but they don't know what to do next and they still want to play but don't know how to go about things and just pushing them in the right direction, or even like not my teammates. Well, I help one of my teammates figure out how to go play overseas. Shout out Lebit. He over there out in Germany, I believe. But just come my peers ask me, hey, I want to go play overseas or want to get into arena ball. What I need to do and just I try to give them all the resources I have and just push them in the right direction to get started on that.
Right on. How did you make so back to the career part of this? You were in Poland. How long did you play Polish football, man?
I played from, I believe, January to July. January, February, March, April, May, June. No, June, like June-ish, like 6 months.
Okay. And then, so from there, you got to go to South America and play football, right?
Yep. Immediately after that season, I went to go play, yep, in South America in Santa Cruz do Sul, Brazil.
Wow. Big change, I imagine, as far as environment, climate, and everything. Football is going to be the
Yeah.
same more than likely, but the environment, having to have a whole different wardrobe instead of the wardrobe you were wearing when you were in Poland playing, coming down South
Right.
America playing, and then having to deal with the heat all the time. What was that experience? Was it more difficult to play in Poland, or was it more difficult to play in Brazil? I'm guessing drastic differences in temperature. I'm not entirely sure.
I would definitely, I wouldn't say difficult, but I would say more different. But if I had to say difficult, it would have to be Brazil because in Brazil football was just wasn't is that's not as developed as like Poland was. In Europe,
Okay.
it was definitely more popular and more developed. But you go down to Brazil, and the sports there are really basketball and soccer. And so down in Brazil, there's football there, but it just wasn't as together as I would say in Poland was. But it was still a great experience.
Were you able? So it wasn't as put together. Does that mean you had to help a lot more for the players around you to help, like, kind of line them out in exactly what they should be doing? Not like you were coaching specifically, but all right, hey, maybe take a couple steps that way, or hey, all right, don't forget this is what you're doing, that sort of thing.
Yeah, I would. It was definitely more of attention to detail things. Like they have their own way of doing things, but I would say I would just come in and be like, yeah, your way is good, but maybe if you take an extra step here, or take one step back, or position your hands this way, or do certain thing this way, you might be more efficient. And it was, and that's another thing. They down in Brazil, they were definitely open for like um coachable. There we go. They were definitely coachable. So like any tips I had, they were definitely open ear and would use majority of things I say. So it was definitely great.
Right on, man. So after there, uh, after being in Brazil and playing there for I'm not an extended period of time. I'm assuming another 6 or so months span. Correct?
Yeah, I was there for about 4 to 5 months, I believe.
Okay. After being there, you got the chance to come back and play uh, in a different team for Arizona. You said, what was that? An outdoor one? Was that an indoor team? Was it like a spring league sort of thing, or?
Yeah, so the team in Arizona, they were also arena. That was my first ever arena team with the Tucson Sugar Skulls out in Tucson, Arizona.
Okay. What was that like? I know that there. I know. What was your all right? First, before I get into that, what was your first experience in an arena working on that the 50-yard field, the barrier around the outside? How was that different for a quarterback than playing out on an open 100-yard field that's a lot wider, a lot longer? You got a lot more field to work with. What was that like for you to work on that smaller field?
I would say speeding up your clock. The game was so much faster, and um, really just speeding everything you do up. And even when you do speed it up even more because the game is so much more faster than outside, and that was one of the big adjustments I had to get used to.
So does it change like with the motion, having a man in motion all the time, having to snap the ball at exactly the right time? Is that a big adjustment as well for it? Because I would think, you're able to have
Um,
a man in motion in normal football, outdoor football. You're able to have a guy in motion and everything, but it's not as much in motion, or it's not as like he's going. It doesn't matter. He's not stopping. You got to snap it before he gets past that line of scrimmage. So I figured it'd be a little bit more difficult, right?
oh, most definitely. And in Arizona, it was kind of different to Arkansas. So with Arkansas or the TAL league, you can have one person in motion vertical and then one horizontal. There you could do it any way you want, honestly. So not only are you like timing up each motion, but you got to make sure everyone's in the same place. The receivers out there in motion got to be on the same accord. So he has to make sure when he starts his motion, they got to move this way or move a certain way to where they're all lined up and everything works on time.
Wow. How do you know, like, as a quarterback, what is the process for being able to memorize all the plays and memorizing each person's position? Because that to me baffles me. How do you do that as a quarterback? I just don't understand the mentality of how it works. The mechanics of it, should I say?
Definitely getting in your playbook. That's a huge thing, and you just gotta really want to learn. You can't go into learning plays and just look it over once and be like, yeah, I got it. That's definitely something you gotta keep looking over in your free time. Watching TV or listening to music, just keep looking it over until it's drilled into your brain. I believe during my whole little run, it was in the past 2 years from what 2024 to 2025. I had to learn a playbook in Poland and then a new playbook in Brazil and then turn around and learn a new playbook 3 months later after Brazil, the Arizona playbook. A few weeks later down the line, I had to learn the Oregon playbook, and then immediately after Oregon, I had to learn the Arkansas playbook. So
God.
it was definitely, yeah, it was. I was all over the place with plays, and sometimes I would like mix up play calls with other teams, and I'd be like, "Wait, that's from Poland," or "Wait, that's from Oregon," and just had to decipher everything. But once you really sit down and really want to learn, then I feel like it's easier, and then also breaking it up to how you remember things easier.
Wow, man. That is just that's a lot of playbooks, man. That's a lot of pages of paper. That's a lot, man. It
Yeah.
takes a super intelligent dude to be able to do that. That's crazy, man. Uh, it blows my mind knowing. Is there still all right? So you watch on you can watch on like Netflix and stuff and watch the show Quarterbacks and hear like these super long play call names. Is that the same thing for every league that you go to? You get these super play call names and stuff. And is it like in the playbook as well, where you'll see this is the name of this play and it shows like 12 lines of one play's name, zebra X dragon cross Y throwback, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Because that's crazy having to match up all of these different words to a single play. That is the exact same thing. You just got to keep focusing on the playbook to get it.
So for I feel like some teams, there was plays where they were so long that I just had to like really break it down into segments. But for majority, a lot of teams realize that like having these long, drawn out name plays can be difficult. So sometimes the coaches just dumb it down or try to make it as easy as possible so you're not over there jumbling on words. Um, I know, I know there's one play, especially when we have motions and shifts and everything. That's where plays can really get lengthy. But once you hear it over and you like keep saying it over in your head, at least for me, that was the easiest way for me to remember some things.
Wow. Is there an example of a long play call that you remember that you could give us?
Uh, Give me 1 second. Trying to think. I believe we had. Oh my gosh. You know what? College. I know in college we had some pretty long plays. Um, let's say, yeah, I can give a college play. It'll be like left twins shift to mm, left twins shift to right trips X ace Y blade 12 ash something like that.
What the heck?
And yeah, you're basically shifting the formation to another formation, and then you're telling two 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 people to do this, and then you're telling your running back to go 12 while you're telling your receivers to run a play action pass play.
What the heck? That's a long name, dude. How did you remember that from back then, you know? That's a long time ago, man.
Yeah, it was trying to remember all those plays. It was definitely a pain, but it had to be done. So
So you've spent short stints in for both the Sugar Skulls and the Oregon team that you played for, you said. You spent short stints with both of those, and then you ended up making it to my city, Hot Springs, where by the end of the season, you were like the leading quarterback, had leading passing yards, leading rushing yards, like top of the league, man. That must have felt great to be able to have those accolades under your belt.
oh yeah, it was definitely a good experience, especially when I got cut from Arizona. I was kind of down on myself, like, man, it's like, is this really for me? And on one of my Instagram posts, actually, on one of my Instagram posts, I screenshot what one of my boys said. He commented on one of my posts saying, and they said he couldn't play ball or something like that. And that picture always sticks with me because it's like, wow. A couple months ago, I was down on myself, like, man, can I really do this? And now we're over here striving to the great lengths in what I'm doing right now.
Man, dude, you killed it out there. I think the coolest thing about quarterbacks is having mobility, and you have it in spades, dude. I have not seen a quarterback move like you anytime. I've actually gone back and watched the Ozark Lunkers game from last season whenever we went there. Well, not we, but you guys went to Ozark and played. And that was a freaking phenomenal game to watch, dude. I absolutely loved it. Uh, I think that you have a great arm. You got a great eye, great accuracy. And also, like I said, your mobility is second literally to none. Uh, you're an outstanding player. As far as going into the Arena League last season, did you have expectations for yourself? Did you have goals for yourself? Like, hey, I'm going to set this goal. This is what I'm looking to do coming into this brand new league, second year in, or second year of this league happening. And I'm going to set it on fire. I'm going to have X, Y, and Z that I'm going to do by the end of this season. Or was it just like, let's see what happens?
It was definitely going to the Arena League. Like I said, after I got cut from Arizona, and then I was the backup in Oregon because they were already mid-season. But going to the Arena League, my biggest thing was I want I want to do so good where they have no choice but to like say my name, like, oh, Jordan Ambrose is doing this or Jordan Ambrose is doing that. I want to be undeniably good to where the point where I have to be in the conversation. And that was the biggest thing for me going to the Arena League and obviously winning a championship. That was when I first signed with Arizona, that's one thing I wanted to do for sure. Especially since y'all's Razorbacks are doing so hot. So I
No.
definitely I definitely wanted to bring a championship home for Arkansas.
Yeah, man. My college team is in Jonesboro. The Red Wolves. That's my college team that I root for, and I've rooted for them for years. It's where my mom and dad met. And I got to brag to my dad and my brother and everybody who's super Arkansas fans. I'd be like, hey, Arkansas State's the only team in college that brought a championship that won a bowl game this last season. So I got the chance to brag about that. Arkansas State, man's my team though, dude. The Red Wolves, they kill it. I love them.
Gotcha.
But yeah, dude, Arkansas not doing so great. Not doing great. They won their first two games, did not win a single game after that. But the thing is, you guys did get us to the Arena Mania 2 game against a team that's now called the Minnesota Monsters playing for the National Arena League. At the time, they were the Duluth Harbor Monsters. We went down there and beat them the first time, I believe, right, at their house, and then we made it back to the championship. And I've heard stories. I've talked to Jackson Davis. He stops by my work sometimes, and I got the chance to talk to him, and I listened to Coach Bones on a podcast talk about the whole process going to that championship game. So y'all got there late, and you had to rush to get to where
Yeah,
you were going and stuff, man. What was that whole experience like, man?
that was crazy. I believe we set out to leave Arkansas Tuesday or Wednesday, and we didn't arrive into Minnesota till the night before the game. We had plane delays. Our luggage was our luggage. Our plane delayed so much that our luggage was in Colorado while we were still in. Or no, our luggage was in Minnesota while we were still in Colorado for our layover, and that whole thing was just a massacre. But we we made it there, so it was something. That whole travel just went downhill.
Going into that game, what was y'all's mentality like? I know that the week leading up to it, I talked to Darian Primes and I talked to Aaron Dilworth on the show, and they both were very adamant, like, we're gonna go in there and we're gonna do what we need to do. We're gonna beat it. And Primes is like, I'll send you a video whenever we win. I'll send you a video on the field. And then what happened during the
Right.
game. But whenever you got there, what initially was the atmosphere like for y'all? Was there an air of urgency, like we have to get this done? Was there an air of calm and patience? What was it like as far as the team's atmosphere heading into that game?
I would definitely say our atmosphere going to the game. We were ready. We were definitely ready. We're just there was a lot of agitation because the travel was really what set a couple guys off. We were working on adjusted sleep. We had a lot of variables, a lot of diversity we had to go through. So we were we def going to that game. We like I said, we were ready. It was just playing against the odds, and the odds just weren't in our favor going into the game. So that's as much I'll speak on that.
As far as the game itself, man, I would not allow myself to watch any highlights or anything of it. I was working the day the game happened. I was closing, I went into work at 2 and got off at 10 o'clock at night. And I would not allow myself to peek at anything because I wanted to watch our guys go in there and do freaking what they've done all year, what y'all did all freaking year long. And that's go in, play hard, and win by the end of it. You know what I mean? So I was like, no spoilers,
Mhm.
just in case, no spoilers. I don't want to look at it. So got home at 10 and immediately turned the game on that already was over and watched it. And it looked like the first half of the game was a really good game, really close game. In the second half, just things started happening and it started to kind of fall apart a little bit. What was it like from your perspective for that going into the second half? Coming into the second half with very small, like being behind by a very small margin, and where it went to by the end of the game. What was that like from your perspective as the quarterback?
First half, like you said, it was good. We were right there, and I feel like the second half we just started slipping away and just letting things go. We didn't have the motor we did in the first half, and that was our biggest thing. Finish the game, and that was one thing we didn't do, and that's what really killed us. Not finishing plays, me myself included, not doing the right things or just I guess the right reads even then, just not executing and finishing like we've been doing throughout the season.
Was like you said, the flight over and traveling and everything was probably an irritant. Working on adjusted sleep, was the being tired, being worn out because you didn't get the right amount of sleep? Do you believe that played a major factor in it as well? Not to make excuses up or anything,
Um,
but
oh yeah, no, I believe it played a factor, but we can't make excuses. We were supposed to go out there and do what we do best. So, I definitely believe that could have played a factor. But again, we're professional athletes. We got to go through these variables and still fight through adversity and come out on top.
definitely, man, definitely. So what have you been doing in your off season since the season ended and the postseason ended? Have you been talking to other teams? I think you could go very far in maybe the IFL, the NAL, AF1, all kinds of different stuff, man. Like I said, you had a killer year last season, and sky's the limit for you. Have you been talking to anybody as far as potentially coming in and doing tryouts for some of those bigger leagues?
Yeah, I've been shopping around with teams and everything. My biggest thing right now in the off season was have a true off season because in 2024 that was I didn't have an off season. I immediately after Poland I went to Brazil, and I never really gave my body time to rest. So going into this off season was like a big thing for me. Like, hey, chill on football for a little bit. How about you train, get some rest, and really just build back up to the potential I know I can be. So that was my biggest thing in this off season right now, just training, working, and just getting my mind right for what's to come. So whatever team I do go to, they'll have my best.
Definitely, man. Hopefully it's us, because shoot, we need you, man. Last season you showed us what you could do, and I would absolutely love to see you back in whatever uniforms the Diamonds, now they're calling themselves the Diamonds. I like the wise guys better. Anyways, but now now that they're the Diamonds, we definitely could use you, man. Hopefully we get a cool announcement at some point. If not, I will be following your career because I absolutely loved what I saw last year. Mobile quarterbacks are probably some of my favorite kinds because you can't just count on them staying in the pocket all the time. They're going to go if they see an opening and if their line starts to break and they can move. They got wheels, they got vision downfield to be able to move and use those wheels, you know. So I absolutely love that about watching you live and on YouTube on the Arena League pages and stuff. Um, but who? So one real quick question before I wrap this whole thing up the way I usually do. Who are some of your inspirations or role models, people that you look up to in football at the quarterback position? Who are some of the people that kind of inspired you? Be like, that's the position I want to play.
Uh, so growing up, always had three numbers. It was 1, 7, and 9. 1 for Cam Newton, 7 for Michael Vick, and a 9 for Drew Brees. And I'm a Saints fan, so I had to throw 9 in there. And 9 was my number majority of my life, all the way up to college. I wore the number 9. And overseas, I wore number 9. Brazil, I wore number 9. And then I was 14. in Arizona and 14 in Oregon. And going to Arkansas, I was like, do I want to continue the number 9 or what do I want to do here? What do I want to do? And ultimately, I decided I was like, you know what? I'm gonna leave 9 back in college, and I'm gonna start a whole new little journey, I guess. And that's why ultimately decided on 2. And it kind of like gave me like college Auburn, Cam Newton vibes, and or Shadur. That's another one. People I kind of like Cam Ward as well, but ultimately, well, yeah, 179. Those are the OG numbers.
Seven's the number that I use. Me and my brother had a no pads tackle football league back in 2011, and that's the number I wore. And I played quarterback, but I played it for a different reason than you. I played it because I'm slow. I'm a short little dude, and I'm really slow. I can't run fast. I can't run super hard, but I can throw the ball decent, you know. So I practiced with my brother. I wore number 7. John Elway was my favorite quarterback of all time.
John
Uh,
Elway, yeah,
yeah, he was the best, man. Him. You chose number 2, man. Number 2 is also Matt Ryan's former number, the Falcons. So,
yep,
uh, so I end the show the same way that I do. I've always ended the show this same exact way, and it's with gratefulness because I'm a big fan of being grateful. You always got to show gratefulness, show thankfulness for things that you have in your life, things around and everything. So what I usually do is I say 3 things I'm thankful for, and then I give my guests the opportunity to do the exact same thing. For me, mine don't change ever. Number 1 is my support system, my beautiful wife, my 2 daughters, my family, my friends, anybody who supported me on any venture, whether it's this podcast or audio dramas, short films, whatever, professional wrestling, um, any of it. I wouldn't be here without them. Number 2 is, well, you, the guests that come on the show, because if I'm being honest, man, you didn't have to come on this show. I'm just some dude that loves talking to people and learning new things. So I'm super grateful that you gave me the time of day to come on this show and just chat it up with me for an hour. Wouldn't be here without the guests. It'd just be me talking. Who wants to listen to that? Then number 3 is kind of 2 parts. My health, because I went through late last year, I kind of went through a little bit of a health thing and it sucked. So I'm thankful I'm back to being healthy now. And the good Lord above, because without God, nothing's possible, and with him, anything's possible. So, number norm formerly number 2 of the Hot Springs Wise Guys, quarterback Jordan Ambrose. What are 3 things that you are grateful for in this moment?
I have a lot of things I'm grateful for. I'm grateful for God for bringing me here, bringing me this far in life. I'm grateful for you for bringing me on this podcast and letting me share my story and everything. Grateful for my family and friends, my friends here in Texas, my friends in Ohio, my 619 fam, my HEB fam, my mom, my pops, all the coaches that gave me a shot and brought me to where I am, pushed me through life, mentors, peers, and really supporters that support me along the way, alive and dead. I'm grateful for all of them, and I wouldn't be who I am without them. So I'm grateful for all them people.
Right on, man. If people wanted to look you up online to see what you've got, see your stuff, or just to see some of the silly things that you post on like Instagram and this and that, man, or TikTok and this and that, where can they find you?
Yeah, my Instagram is Jordan Ambrose, except the A is removed out my name, and that's pretty much my socials for everything. TikTok is Jordan Ambrose, Snapchat is Jordan Ambrose, Instagram is Jordan Ambrose, Twitter is Jordan Ambrose. All my handles are the same. So
Right on. Oh, one more thing. I completely forgot this question. I did want to ask this because I thought it was cool. The first time we got to see you, sharing your message, you did a video with the phone in the microwave. Where did that idea come from, man?
oh my gosh. That was when I was in Arizona, and Um, what was his name? Chris Goodman. He reached out to me. Shout out Chris. He reached out to me. He was like, "Hey, glad you signed. Do you mind making a commitment video?" And I was like, "Yeah, I got you." And I didn't want to do I didn't want to do no like regular commitment video where I'm just talking to the camera. I was like, I want to do something different. I want to do something like some no one's really thought of. And I was like, I'm gonna put my phone in the microwave and like open it up like I'm cooking or something. And oh my gosh, that took probably about 30 or something takes. I still have all the bloopers from that too. It took about 30 takes, and I finally got through the whole thing, and then I closed it and started the microwave, and it spun off, and I was really proud of myself for that. I'm not gonna lie. Oh my, that was some funny stuff. But I definitely, I when I do things, I didn't want to just do things the normal way. I wanted to really pop out and be different. So that was just like one of the things that derived from that.
Definitely, man. Definitely. Well, Jordan, man, I appreciate you coming on the show, man. Like I said, been wanting to try to talk to you
Thanks for
since
having me.
before the Arena Mania 2 game that week before when I was trying to get Coach Bones on. I was trying to get Coach Primes, Dilworth, and you all on the same week. Didn't happen that way, but now I've got you on. Maybe I can get Coach on at some point in the near future. Talk to him. Uh, but man, I appreciate you so much. Hopefully, man, hopefully they can do the right thing here at the Diamonds with the new owners and everything. Hopefully they can do the right thing and holler at you or something, man, because we need you back. That'd be excellent, man. But if not,
Yeah,
like I
sure.
said, I'm going to be keeping an eye out trying to see where you're going, man, because ain't nothing like watching a Jordan Ambrose show on the field, man.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Hey, you have a great rest of your day, man.
You as well. Have a good day.
Hey, man, I appreciate you, dude. I really do.